Welcome to A Current Affair. Nadia converted to Islam to please her Muslim husband, and when she decided to leave her husband and the faith, it was the hardest thing this mother of 7 had ever done. But it would get much worse. Her angry sons wanted her dead, and that forced Nadia and her daughters into hiding. This is their story.
I watched my children giving me their seconds off their plate. Being taught to spit at me. And that was okay because I was Western and white and not Muslim. I believed that I was a second-class citizen, and if I tried to fight it, that I was going against a religion that I thought was correct. I felt like an animal. I was their animal.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.
Nadia Cook's sons chose Allah over their own mother.
I just tried to make excuses. They're children, they're young. They'll grow out of it. Once they know the truth, they'll change. What?
I got the sauce. I got the sauce.
These are Nadia's boys, now men, who've made it their mission to make her life hell.
It's terrorism. In my own home.
No talking, no discussion.
The reason for their hatred, she turned her back on the Islamic faith, a move that almost cost this Melbourne mum her life.
Just screaming, we're going to kill you. We need you dead. We need you dead. This is our family's honour. It is an honour for them to kill somebody who's turned away from Islam. And their own mother has turned away from Islam, so I mean nothing to them.
What have your sons done?
They've destroyed my life. Look at Mummy.
The 40-year-old and her eldest daughter, Alawiyah, have fled their family and they're in hiding.
They have such hate towards white people. White people haven't done anything wrong to them personally at all.
The pair has chosen to speak to A Current Affair from their safe house, provided by a domestic violence charity, in the hope the media attention will help protect them from their own family.
The more one is silent about an injustice that is being done, the more that injustice will continue.
This is a video that I took after the police raided our house and found a bunch of rifles in the manhole. I am so angry. It's a war, literally.
An all-out holy war unfolding not in the Middle East, but in suburban Melbourne. Nadia, originally from Bendigo, met her ex-husband when she was in her late teens. She fell head over heels and converted to Islam.
I struggled to do their daily prayers. I struggled to do their daily washing. I struggled to read their Quran. I struggled a lot. And I guess I wasn't the same as them. I was not allowed to visit my family unless I wore the scarf, because it's against their religion that I uncover my hair in front of my father. I wasn't even allowed to hug him, shake his hand, sit next to him. No Christmas throughout the whole 10 years. No Easter, no celebrating birthdays. No physical activities, no swimming, bike riding, no owning a pet.
Like a slave, treated like a slave. It's, women have like no rights according to them.
Nadia says she noticed anti-Western sentiment develop as her sons grew older.
I sent my boys to an Islamic school. They were often taught that the Western people weren't to be trusted, that white people aren't good.
She tried to play along, desperately wanting to fit into the family and please her husband.
Anybody who is not Muslim is rubbish. If there was any news articles about or any fighting in the Middle East, it would be the Western people deserve to die.
The wake-up call came around 10 years ago when she claimed she discovered her husband, the devout conservative Muslim, was seeing other women. She left him and the Islamic faith.
Taking off the scarf, you might think, wow, she's freed herself. It was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. and I felt so vulnerable, so naked and so small. It was so difficult because I'd worn it for so many years, and it had been drummed into my head that that is my protection.
This is so much more worth.
Over the years, Nadia and her daughter Aloia grew further and further apart from her ex and the eldest boys, wannabe rap stars who perform under the names Sino Carter and Safi the Boy. But 2 years ago, Nadia's sons needed financial assistance and moved into her new home in Melbourne's western suburbs.
They always needed more money. I took out so many payday loans, it would have been around $15,000 to give them.
She'll go to such great lengths to help anyone, especially her own kids, which is pretty sad that out of 5, only 1 has turned out to stay by her side.
But then Nadia got remarried to a man of a different religion to her ex-husband and eldest sons, and this angered them. When she fell pregnant and had 2 daughters with the new man, they were furious. Then things turned catastrophic.
Well, what happened in October has literally ruined our lives.
The night Aloia was talking about happened in early October. The boys arrived at the house at around 10 p.m. They started slamming on the door and dragged Nadia's new husband out here onto the street. And it was here where he was brutally bashed, kicked in the head with steel cap boots. Terrified, Nadia called police, and as officers arrived, the boys fled.
And I was hearing, look, kill him, just kill him, kill the bastard, kill the bastard.
The father of 2 suffered serious head and neck injuries. They weren't happy that their mum's new husband didn't believe the same things they did.
Well, from the beginning they didn't want me in their mother's life. Because of my race, because of my culture, because of my religion, that they hate.
After police arrived, they searched the home, allegedly finding these rifles hidden in a manhole in the boys' room. They laid the guns out on the bed, along with one of the boys' passports.
I think that they had a job to do in their mind and they wanted to complete that. I don't think that they set out to terrorise us, they set out to kill us. That was an honour killing for them.
It's a blessing if they kill me in their religion.
How do you think they feel about Western society?
White people are nothing but white trash, pigs. They're not human, they don't deserve to live. We're the best race, we're the best religion.
Not the kind of people you want in possession of rifles.
No, not the kind of people I feel safe to know that they're living around me in the society.
Weapons charges were laid, however the boys' whereabouts is currently unknown. It's believed they fled overseas and can't be brought to justice in Australia. As for Nadia's ex-husband, he runs a recruitment agency in Melbourne, helping foreigners gain employment in Australia. He's often also in Malaysia, where he operates a training and education company.
Speak out and, reach out. If you're in an environment that is oppressive, reach out.
Nur Wasami is Australia's first openly gay imam. He knows what it's like to be rejected by his Muslim community and has done remarkable things helping minorities. The Muslim leader admires Nadia for breaking her silence and encourages others in similar situations to do the same.
And we live in a safe country where these things are not allowed.
Islam in itself is actually very peaceful. They're hypocrites, however. They change the religion for themselves, and this is where it goes bad. It is extremism, though.
We're all human. Just because you don't believe in something doesn't make you any different or any better.
Maybe after today, there will be some women that will say, hey, I am human. I'm not an animal. Maybe they will get the chance to be free.
Nadia's sons are due to face court later this year.